Hi guys, I hope that you are having a great day ahead. Before we start, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the notification button for more videos. Alright, so this time we're going to talk about integral exponents. Okay, so when we see integral exponents, we have positive integral exponents, zero integral in exponents, and then we have negative integral exponents. Alright, so which are embedded to the different laws of exponents that we are going to talk about today. So when we are talking about exponents, let's say we have this example, 5 cubed. 5 cubed is what we call the power. So this one is what we call the power. The whole thing, 5 cubed, is what we call the power. Then 5 is what we call the base of the power. And then 3 is what we call the exponent. Alright, so this is really important to take note. You're not going to multiply base and the exponent to get the simplified form. What you need to do is to multiply the base to itself based on what does the exponent is saying. So if the exponent is saying you have to multiply 3 times, you have to multiply 5 3 times to itself. So just like this, 5 cubed means that you need to multiply 5 3 times to itself. 5 times 5 times 5, that's it. Alright, so and you're not going to multiply 5 times 3, that's incorrect. Alright, so the answer here is 125. So 125 is equal to 5 cubed means that 5 cubed is the exponential form of the number 125. 5 cubed or 5 raised to the power of 3 means that we have 3 factors of 5 or 5 times 5 times 5. Alright, so 5 will be used 3 times as factor. Okay, next, the laws of exponents. So this one is what we call the exponential form. The exponent of a power indicates how many times the base multiplies itself. Example, this is the general form. X raised to the power of n is equal to x times x times x and so on and so forth. X times x times x times x. What do you mean? What do we mean by this one? So we're going to multiply x n times. It depends on the exponent. Alright, so this is being read as n factors of x. Example, 5 cubed means that we have 5 times 5 times 5. Alright, so let's talk about the different laws of exponents. So how important is following the laws of exponents? Alright, so you have to take note that all the things that we talk about in algebra, okay, involve laws of exponent. Why? These laws of exponent play a vital role in simplifying different algebraic expressions or equations. Alright, so it means that we need to follow. That's why we call them laws. So same thing, if you are driving a car, okay, you are not allowed to beat the red light. You have to stop. Why? Because that is the law or that is the rule on the road. Alright, so you have to take note. You have to take note as well that law excuses no one. So it doesn't matter if you did not have your education. Alright, so you're not excused of following the rule of law. Okay, so same thing with the laws of exponents. Let's have the first law of exponents, multiplication law, or some other books will call it first law of exponents. So this means that if you are multiplying powers with the same base, okay, take note of the same base, keep the base and add the exponents. What do you mean by this? You have to take note of the words keep and add. So multiplication law of exponents says that if the base, or if we have the same base, just keep the base and then add the exponents. Example, if you are multiplying x raised to the power of m times x raised to the power of n, this is equal to x. Copy the base and then add the exponents m plus n. That's the thing that you're going to do. Example, 2 raised to the power of 6 times 2 cubed is equal to 2 raised to the power of 6 plus 3. So as you can see, we copied the same base. This is only applicable if the base or if the bases are the same. Okay, of the if the bases are the same. So just copy it just like this. We copied 2 and then we need to add the exponents 6 plus 3. Okay, so you will get a result of 2 raised to the power of 9. Okay, so if you are going to simplify this, actually you can use your calculator in simplifying this, or your scientific calculator, or if you want, you can multiply 2 to itself 9 times so that you can simplify. So on your calculators, you can see this symbol or this function x then raised to that exponent value. So if you will be clicking that, you are able to dial 2 and then the exponent of 9, and then you will be getting 512. That's the thing that you're going to do. Next, example 1, give the product of the following. Let's start with A. A, we have x raised to the power of 6 times x raised to the power of 9. So take note, what you need to check first is that if the bases are the same. So as you can see here, the bases are the same. So we have x and x. So what we have to do here is to copy x and then add the exponents, because according to the law or multiplication law of exponents, you copy the base and then add the exponents. So x raised to the power of 6 plus 9 equals x raised to the power of, what is 6 plus 9? 15. So power of 15. This will be now your final answer because you cannot anymore simplify that. Right? Next, B. We have 3y raised to the 4th power times 3y square. Okay, so as you can see, class, the multiplication law of exponents is not only applicable for a single variable. So as you can see here, we have 3y, and then as you can see, the bases are the same as well, 3y. Just copy the base 3y, and then you still need to enclose it with parentheses and then add the exponents 4 plus 2. Alright, so you will be getting an answer of 3y raised to the power of 6. And then this is not yet simplified. As you can see, there is still a parenthesis. We have to remove this. So distribute, you have to take note that for every whole number and then variable, there is a default exponent of 1. So you need to multiply 6 to the exponents. Again, take note of the word multiply because the exponent is outside the grouping symbol. Alright? So 6 times 1, this will become 3 raised to the power of 6, and then 6 times 1 as well, this is y raised to the power of 6. And then you still need to simplify 3 raised to the power of 6. Okay, so 3 raised to the power of 6 is equal to 729 y raised to the 6th power. So this is now the final answer. For as long as the whole number is raised to the exponent, you have to take note that you need to simplify it for you to get the final answer. Alright? Next, power of a power, law of exponents, or this one is what we call the second law of exponents. So if you are raising a power to an exponent, you multiply the exponents. So unlike the multiplication law, we are adding the exponents. Here, you are going to multiply the exponent outside the grouping symbol to the exponent inside the grouping symbol. So we call it power of a power which is raised to another power. Okay, so example, if we have x raised to the power of m raised to the power of n, so this means that you need to multiply the exponents, m times n, then you will be getting an answer of x raised to the power of m times n. Example, if we have 5 cubed raised to the second power, or 5 cubed square, so you need to multiply 3 times 2. So 5 raised to the power of 3 times 2, or 5 raised to the power of 6. So if you are going to simplify 5 raised to the power of 6, this one is equal to 15,625. Alright? So that is power of a power law. Remember to multiply the exponents so that you can simplify the expression. Next, example 2. Give the product of the following. So for letter A, we have x raised to the power of 6 times, or rather, x raised to the power of 6 square. Alright, so all we need to do is to copy the base here and then multiply the exponent. 6 times 2, which is 12. So this will be now your final answer. Next, we have 2x cubed y square raised to the power of 4. Okay, so as you can see, 2 has an exponent of 1 here. So just distribute 4 by multiplying to the exponents inside the grouping symbol. So this will become 2 raised to the power of 4 x raised to the power of 3 times 4, which is 12, and then y raised to the power of 2 times 4, which is 8. Then the next thing is, take note that you still need to simplify 2 raised to the power of 4. So 2 raised to the power of 4 is equal to 16. So the final answer now will be 16x raised to the power of 12, y raised to the power of 8. So as simple as that. Okay, so this is now the simplified form of the expression 2x cubed y squared raised to the power of 4. So that is the power of a power law of exponents. Now let's have the third. Okay, product law of exponents, or we call it third law of exponents. So what do we mean by third law of exponents? If the product of the bases is powered by the same exponent, then the result is a multiplication of individual factors of the product, each powered by the given exponent. What do you mean by this? So we have a product inside, that's why we call it product law. Product inside. Then if this is the case, okay, so as you can see, we have an exponent of 1. Still, you need to multiply the exponent outside the grouping symbol to the exponents inside the grouping symbol. It will give you a result of x raised to the power of n times y raised to the power of n. Example, if we have ab squared, so as you can see, if you cannot see any exponent, okay, it means that there's an exponent of 1. Alright, so the answer here is distribute 2, you will be getting a squared b squared. Okay, that is product law. There is a product inside the grouping symbol, and all you need to do is to multiply the exponent outside the grouping symbol to the exponents inside the grouping symbol for you to be able to simplify it. So that is product law of exponents. Example, give the product of the following. A, we have 4x raised to the power of 7, y raised to the power of 5 cubed. So how are we going to simplify this? So as you can see, you have to take note that 4 has an exponent of 1. Okay, all you need to do is to distribute 3, as simple as that. So 4 will be 1 times 3, 3, then x raised to the 7 power times 3, it is 7 times 3, 21, and then y, 5 times 3, 15. So this is not yet simplified because as you can see, there is still a whole number which is raised to an exponent. So all you need to do is to simplify this for you to be able to get the final answer. So 4 cubed is equal to 64, x raised to the power of 21, y raised to the power of 15. This will be now your final answer. Okay, so let's proceed to the second part. We have negative 2x squared y z raised to the 4th power raised to the 4th power. Same thing. So we need to distribute the exponent outside to the exponents inside. So, okay, we are going to have now negative 2 raised to the power of 4 x squared y raised to the power of 4, and then z raised to the power of 4. You have to take note of this. No, it's 4 times 4, 16. So this is 16, sorry. Alright, then x is 8. So this one is negative 2 raised to the 4th power, x raised to the power of 8, y raised to the 4th power, and then z raised to the power of 16. Alright, next is you have to take note of this. Okay, so as you can see, negative 2 is part of the expression inside the grouping symbol. Okay, that's why when you distribute 4, you have to put parentheses because that is really different if you are going to make it like this. So negative 2 raised to the 4th power is different because you are only raising 2 to 4, but negative is not included. So if you're going to simplify this, negative 2 raised to the power of 4, you will be getting an answer of negative 16. But if you will be raising the whole negative 2 raised to the power of 4, okay, so you will be getting positive 16. Alright, so you have to take note of that. Okay, so if the negative is not included, okay, so you cannot actually make it as a part of the base. You have to take note of that. Just like this, as you can see, negative 2 is enclosed to the parentheses, and if that's the case, okay, you have to still enclose negative 2 inside the grouping symbol. Okay, so next thing is we need to simplify this one. Negative 2 raised to the 4th power is 16. So 16x raised to the 8th power, y raised to the 4th power, and then z raised to the 16th power. This will be now your final answer. That is what we call the product law of exponents. Now, let's have the fourth law of exponents, or what we call the division law of exponents. When dividing powers with the same base, okay, so take note that we have to keep the base and then subtract. A while back, in the multiplication law of exponents, we have to keep the base and then add. This time, if it is division, we have to keep the base and then subtract. Subtract the exponents. Again, if the bases are the same, okay, keep the base and then subtract when you are dealing with division law of exponents. Okay, so if we have x raised to the power of n over x raised to the power of n equals x raised to the power of m divided by x raised to the power of n. Okay, so this is in fraction form. It's just the same as this. Okay, so it is still division. Okay, copy the base and then subtract the exponents m minus n. That's why we will be getting an answer of x raised to the power of m minus n. Take note, keep the base and then subtract. Example, if we have 2 raised to the power of 6 divided by 2 squared, this is equal to, keep the base 2 and then subtract the exponent 6 minus 2. We will be having an answer of 2 raised to the 4th power, or simply 16. That is what we call division law of exponents. Okay, now let's go to the quotient law. Quotient law of exponents, or the fifth law of exponents. If the quotient of the bases is powered by the same exponent, then the result is both numerator and denominator, each powered by the given exponent. So if we have this one, x over y raised to the power of n, okay, so all we need to do is the same as the product, but this time it's quotient. We have to distribute n to the exponents of the expressions inside the parentheses. So we will be getting an by multiplication. Okay, so n times 1, n times 1. That's why we will be getting an answer of x raised to the power of n over y raised to the power of n. Example, if we have 2/3 raised to the power of 4, okay, so we have a default exponent of 1 here. 4 times 1, 4. 4 times 1, 4. That's why we will be getting an answer of 2 raised to the 4th power over 3 raised to the 4th power. And then, simplify, 2 raised to the 4th power is 16, and then 3 raised to the 4th power is 81. Then, we will be having a fraction of 16 over 81. Then, you have to check if you can still simplify this. Actually, you can use your calculator, but if not, this is already the final answer. Okay? Next, let's have the example 4. A, we have x raised to the power of 6, y raised to the power of 10, over x cubed y. So how are we going to simplify this? Take note of division law of exponents. Copy the base. Here we have two bases, x and y, and then subtract the exponents. 6 minus 3, 10 minus 1. Then simplify. 6 minus 3 is x cubed, and then 10 minus 1 is 9. That's why this will become y raised to the power of 9. This will be now your final answer. Okay? Then here, we will be applying quotient law. So as you can see, the exponent of the numerator is the same as the exponent of the denominator. For us to simplify this easily, okay, we can move out or factor out 3. Okay? So we will be having 64 over 24. Okay? Raised to the power of 3. So you can already simplify 64 over 24. 64 over 24 is 8 over 3. Okay, so it's 8 over 3. Why? Because the common factor is 8. 64 divided by 8 is 8. Then 24 divided by 8 is 3. Okay, so the simplified form is 8/3 raised to the power of 3. Then let's apply quotient law again by distributing again the exponent outside. So this will become 8 cubed over 3 cubed. So take note of the exponent of 1. That's why when we distributed, we need to multiply 3 times 1, 3 times 1. Then the answer is 8 cubed over 3 cubed. So as you can see, here it's not yet that simplified, but here, so the number are smaller than the original given. So we can now simplify this. 8 cubed is equal to 512 while 3 cubed is equal to 27. So this is now the lowest term. Okay, so the final answer is 512 over 27. So that's how you are going to apply division law of exponents and quotient law of exponents. Next, negative law of exponents. So if the base is powered by the negative exponent, then the base becomes reciprocal with the positive exponent. What is this all about? So if there's a negative exponent, the idea is that we have to remove the negative exponent before we can simplify. So example, if we have x raised to the power of negative m, so you cannot yet simplify this one. What you need to do first is to get the reciprocal. When you say reciprocal, okay, you are actually moving the numerator or denominator to the numerator to the denominator, and then the denominator to the numerator. That is what we call the process of reciprocating. In this case, so if you're going to get a reciprocal of x raised to the power of negative m, so it is now 1 over x raised to the power of m. So this is now the simplified form. Same thing if we have 1 over x raised to the power of negative m. So the answer here is x raised to the power of m. We reciprocated. Then if we have x raised to the power of negative 1 and then y raised to the power of negative 1, okay, we have to reciprocate the numerator and denominator. This will become y over x. So example, if we have 5 raised to the power of negative 3, you cannot actually say this is 125. Why? Because the exponent is negative. All you need to do first is to reciprocate it so that we can remove or omit the negative exponent. Okay, so take note that if the expression has negative exponent, okay, it's not yet simplified. You have to remove first the negative exponent for you to be able to simplify it. Take note of that. Okay, next. 5 raised to the power of negative 3, reciprocate, it will become 1 over 5 cubed. So 5 cubed is 125. That's why our final answer here is 1 over 125. And then we have 1 over 3 raised to the power of negative 2. Reciprocate, you will be getting an answer of 3 square. And then 3 times 3 is equal to 9. Okay, so take note of that. You cannot simplify if there is a negative exponent. So let's have the zero law of exponents. Any base powered by 0 exponent equals 1, except if you are going to raise 0 to 0. This is undefined. This is the only limit. Okay, so x raised to the 0 power is 1. So take note, if your parent is a mathematics teacher and then she gave you 1,000 pesos, but she put 0 as the exponent there, okay, so it's only equivalent to 1 peso. Alright, so you have to check for that. Then if we have x raised to the 0 power, this one is equal to 1. So examples, we have 5 raised to the 0 power, this is equal to 1, and a raised to the 0 power, this is also equal to 1, and then 5a raised to the 0 power, for as long as if we have expressions, or rather expression inside the grouping symbol and it is raised to 0, the answer is still 1. Okay? Example 5, simplify. So we have 8x raised to the 0 power. Take note that only x is raised to 0. Alright, so apply the 0 law. Okay, so this will become a times 1, or simply 8. 8 is not raised to 0. Unlike this one, the whole expression is raised to 0 because of the grouping symbol. Okay, so all you need to do is simplify this. 8x raised to the 0 power is simply 1. See the difference between the two. Then letter C, we have 2 raised to negative 2 square. So all we need to do, you have to take note, you have to remove the negative exponent for you to be able to simplify it. So how are we going to do it? First, let's apply the power of a power law. Let's multiply the exponents. So 2 negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Then get the reciprocal. This will become 1 over 2 raised to the 4th power. Then 1 over 2 raised to the 4th power is simply 1 over 16. This will be now your final answer. Then letter D, we have negative 4 thirds raised to the power of negative 1. Alright, so the next thing that we have to do here is to, okay, distribute negative 1 inside. So if you are going to do that, you need to reciprocate this so that the negative exponent will be removed. So the final answer here is 3 over 4. Okay, so if you're going to distribute negative 1 to the numerator and denominator, still you need to reciprocate. That's why you will be getting an answer of negative 3/4. Right? Next, okay, in your examination, of course, you are going to encounter this complex type of examples. Alright, so express each of the following without zero and negative exponents, then simplify. Letter A, we have 8x raised to the power of negative 5y raised to the power of negative 3 over 12x raised to the power of 5y raised to the power of 7. So we need to simplify first the whole numbers. We have 8 and 12. Get the common factor, which is, or you can actually use your calculator. Common factor is 4. So 8 divided by 4, this will become 2. Okay? Then, we will be applying negative law of exponents. So, as you can see, there are negative exponents on the numerator. So, we need to put them on the denominator. Okay? So, 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then, copy x raised to the 5th power. This one will become x raised to the 5th power as well. Then, copy y raised to the 7th power. And this will become y cubed. Then, we are going to apply now the multiplication law of exponents. So, add, keep the base, and then add the exponents. So, x, 5 times 5 raised to the power of 10. And then, y, 7 plus 3 raised to the power of 10. And by the way, this is 3. So, this will be now your final answer. Next, we have letter B, negative 18 x raised to the power of 7, y raised to the power of negative 5, z raised to the 0 power, over 81 x raised to the power of negative 13, y raised to the power of 7, and then z. So, next thing is, okay, of course, we have to simplify the whole numbers, negative 18 and 81. Okay, so the common factor is 9. So, negative 18 divided by 9 is negative 2. Then, 81 divided by 9 is, of course, 9. Then, so take note, we can already simplify z raised to the 0 power. This will become 1. And then, x raised to the 7 power will remain. Then, we have to put this on the numerator, x raised to the power of 13. Then, we have to put this on the denominator, y raised to the power of 7, and then y raised to the power of 5. Then, bring down z. Next thing is, we can already simplify this. So, negative 2, copy the base, applying the multiplication law, copy the base, and then add the exponent. So, 7 plus 13 is 20. Over, okay, so copy the base 9, and then copy the base y. 7 plus 5 is equal to 12, and then bring down z. Okay, so this will be now your final answer. Okay, so remember the different laws of exponents. Alright, so in the next part, okay, we are going to apply the laws of exponents in simplifying expressions with rational exponents. Okay, so expressions with rational exponents. When we say rational exponents, guys, okay, we are dealing with exponents that are fractions. Okay, so how is that? How are we going to simplify the expressions? These are the tips that we can actually take note in evaluating expressions with rational exponents. So first is we have to factor if necessary. 2. Apply the laws of exponents. 3. Remove the rational or fractional exponents on the denominator. And then 4th, we can now simplify. So factor if necessary, of course, we are dealing with the whole number. If we can factor it to reduce it, okay, we have to do it. Then the next thing is we have to apply the specific laws that are applicable to the expression. And then 3, we have to take note to remove the rational or fractional exponents on the denominator. So if the rational exponents are on the denominator, it's not yet simplified. Okay, so it's just fine if the rational exponents are on the numerator but not on the denominator. That's why we had to do something for it. Then, fourth, of course, simplify. Example 1, evaluate the following. Okay, so A, we have 1,000 raised to the power of 1/3. Okay, so how are we going to simplify this? All we need to do is to factor. Okay, all we need to do is to factor 1,000 before we can simplify this. So how are we going to factor? So we can try getting first the square root or the radical. Square root of 1,000. So square root of 1,000 is not exact. It is 10 square root of 10. So let's try cube root. Okay? So on your calculators, you can see this function. Alright, so square root of something. And then we have the second function, cube root of something. But if it is more than 3, you will be able to see the symbol x raised to a specific power, and then the second function of it is this one. You can change the index to another number. Okay, so we're done with testing in the square root of 1,000 and it's not exact. So let's try cube root. So cube root of 1,000 is 10. So it's now exact. That's why we will be using. So since it is cube root, the exponent is 3. So this one will become 10 raised to the power of 3 or 10 cubed. Okay? So because 10 times 10 times 10 is 1,000. Alright? So we just express 1,000 in terms of cube root. So that's why we are able to get 10 cubed. Okay? So 10 cubed raised to the power of 1/3. Then the next thing is we have to apply power of a power law. So by multiplying the exponents. So 10, 3 times 1 is 3. Bring down 3, the denominator. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. So 10 raised to the power of 1 is simply 10. This is now the final answer. So we just follow the tips. Okay, first is we have to factor. Then we have to apply the exponents and then simplify. Then letter B, we have 121 raised to the power of -1/2. So as you can see, we cannot yet simplify this one because there's a negative exponent. Later on, once we factored 121, okay, so we can now actually remove the negative exponent. But for the meantime, we have to factor. Let's try again. Square root of 121. So it's 11. So we can use the factor of 11, which is raised to the second power because we took the square root. And then raised to -1/2. Then the next thing is distribute -1/2, or rather multiply -1/2 to 2. So we will be getting an answer of 2 times -1, -2/2. So -2/2 is -1, or simply 1/11. This will be now the final answer. Why it became 1/11? Because of the negative exponent. Okay? Then, letter C, we have a raised to the power of 1/3 times a raised to the power of 1/2. So this one is very simple. All we need to do is to apply multiplication law, okay, by keeping the base and then adding the exponents. 1/3 plus 1/2. But as you can see, the exponents are dissimilar fractions. So we have to make them first similar for us to be able to simplify. So 1/3 plus 1/2. Okay, then so get the LCD or the least common denominator. So 3 times 2 is 6. Then 6 divided by 3 is 2, and then 2 times 1 is 2. Then 6 divided by 2 is 3. 3 times 1 is 3. Then that's the time that we can actually simplify. 2 plus 3 is 5/6. So the answer here is a raised to the power of 5/6. We cannot anymore simplify this. There's no problem because it's not the denominator with the rational exponent. So it's a whole number. So the answer is a raised to the power of 5/6. Next, letter D, we have m raised to the power of 3/4 over m raised to the power of 1/4. Okay? So, we will be applying division law of exponents here by copying the base, which is m, and then subtracting the exponents. 3/4 minus 1/4. So as you can see, the exponents are similar fractions. So all we need to do is to actually subtract the numerators. 3 minus 1 is 2/4. Then 2/4 can be simplified. The common factor is 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, and then 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that's why our answer here will be m raised to the power of 1/2. So that is already our final answer. Okay? Next, evaluate the following. So a raised to the power of 1/2 times 32 raised to the power of 1/2. So what are we going to do here now? Of course, we have 8 and 32 here. So all we need to do is to make them similar for us to be able to simplify this easily by factoring. Okay? So try again. Square root of 8 is not exact, but cube root of 8 is exact, which is 2. So this means that we are going to have 2 cube raised to the power of 1/2. Okay? Then the next thing is the next one. Okay, so 32. Okay, so how are we going to simplify? If it's not cube root of 32, we can actually try fourth root. Fourth root of 32 is not yet exact, and then we will be trying fifth root. Fifth root of 32 using your calculator is 2. So that's it. So 2 raised to the fifth power raised to the power of 1/2. Okay? So all we need to do is to get the square root, cube root, fourth root, fifth root, and so on and so forth for you to be able to get the exact base that we are looking for. Then the next thing now is we can already simplify by applying power of a power law here. So 3 times 1/2 and then 5 times 1/2. Okay, so 3 times 1 is 3 halves. And here we have 5 times 1. It is now 5 halves. Then we can now apply the multiplication law of exponents by keeping the base, which is 2, and then adding the exponents, 3 halves plus 5 halves. So 3 plus 5 is 8 over 2. Then 8 over 2 is 4. Then 2 raised to the 4th power is simply 16. This is now the final answer. Okay? So again, if we are multiplying or dividing something, we have to make sure that the bases are similar. We have to make the bases similar. But if it's not, okay, so we can do some other thing. Just like the second example, B, 729 over 64 raised to the power of 2/3. Okay, so all we need to do is to simplify. First is get the square root of 729, and it's that simplified yet because 27 can be simplified. Now we can try getting the cube root of 729. So we will be having 9. Okay, so we have 9 over 64. So we have to simplify 64. Okay, so square root of 64 is not that simplified, but we can still try cube root of 64. So cube root of 64 is 4. Then the next thing is 9 over 4 raised to the power of 9 is raised to the power of 3, and then 4 is raised to the power of 3. Then raised to the power of 2/3. As you can see, the exponents are the same. So all we need to do here now is to apply the quotient law. So 9 and then 3 times 2 is 6 over 3 over 4 raised to the power of 3 times 2, 6 over 3. Then 6 divided by 3 is 2. Then 6 divided by 3 is 2 as well. So 9 times 9 is 81. Then 4 times 4 is 16. If you cannot anymore simplify, therefore this is the final answer. So what if there's someone before who asked me, what if we are using calculator and we simplified it directly? Okay, on the calculator, there's no problem with that, class, for as long as when you are when you take your exam, all you need to do on your solution paper is to indicate if what you did. Okay, so you can actually use some other solutions, okay, but please indicate on how you did it. Okay, so example, if you will be using calculator, 8 raised to the power of, so if you will be using the calculator here, 8 raised to the power of 1 divided by 2, okay, so that you can easily understand, times 32 raised to the power of 1 divided by 2. Okay, so you will be getting an answer also of 16 if you will be using your calculator. There is no problem. Just indicate that you use your calculator and indicate the process. Alright, then here, if you will be doing the same, okay, 729 divided by 64 raised to the power of 2 divided by 3. Still, you need to use parentheses. So if you will be doing this on your calculator, you still get an answer of 81 over 16. There's no problem if you will be using your calculators in simplifying, for as long as you will come up with the same answer. There's no problem. Okay? Next, we have example 3. Evaluate the following. Alright? So we have 27 raised to the power of 2/3 times 9 raised to the power of 2/3 and then raised to the power of 3/4. So how are we going to simplify this? Same thing, of course, we have to factor. If we can make the bases similar, we have to make them similar for us to be able to easily simplify this. Alright, so this is what we are going to do. 27, okay, square root will not work. Square root of 27 is not exact, so you can try cube root of 27, then you will be getting 3. So this will become 3 cubed, then raised to the power of negative 2/3. Then here, 9, square root of 9 is 3. So this one is 3 square. Okay, raised to 2/3, then raised to 3/4. We just copied 2/3 and then 3/4. Alright, so the next thing is we can now simplify it. Okay, so multiply negative 2/3 and 3. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6 over 3. Then here, 2 times 2, 4 over 3. So this one is 3 raised to the power of 4/3, then bring down 3/4. Then the next thing is negative 6 over 3 is 3 raised to the power of negative 2. Then here is 4 times 3 and then 3 times 4. Okay? So 4 times 3 is 12. So this one will become 12 over 12 because 3 times 4 is also 12. Then we can already simplify 3 raised to the power of negative 2 times 3 because 12 over 12 is 1. Then the next thing is 3 raised to the power of negative 2. We have to reciprocate this for us to be able to simplify. But before that, of course, as you can see, okay, we are dealing with multiplication law of exponents. We forgot about that. Okay, so copy the base and then add the exponents, negative 2, and here we have plus 1. Okay, so negative 2 plus 1 is negative 1. Then get the reciprocal, it will become 1 over 3. This will be now your final answer. But if you use your calculator or if you use some other solutions in simplifying this and you got also 1/3, there's no problem with that. Just indicate if what you did on your solution papers when you take when you actually take your exam. Okay, so letter B, we have 0.008 raised to the power of negative 2/3. Using your calculator, you can already simplify this. Just indicate it. But the other process is this. So 0.008 needs to be converted first to fraction. So 0.008 is 1 over 125 raised to the power of negative 2/3. Then we have to simplify 125, okay, for us to be able to get the final answer here. So factor 125, square root will not work, and then cube root will work. So you will be getting 5 cubed. So 1 over 5 cubed raised to the power of negative 2/3. Then the next thing is we need to distribute the exponent outside. Okay, but before that, you can actually make this as 5 raised to negative 3. It's just the same, raised to the power of negative 2/3. Okay, so let us erase that. So negative 2/3. This one is 3. Then the next, negative 3. Next thing is multiply negative 3 to the exponent outside. So negative 3 times negative 2 is positive 6 over 3. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So 5 squared is 25. This will be now your final answer. Next. Example 4, and I think this will be the last example. Evaluate the following. So as you can see here, okay, for example A, we have the denominator of, we have a denominator with the rational exponent. So what do we need to do here? All we need to do is to remove it by applying or getting the conjugate. So when we say conjugate, it's a value of 1. Okay, wherein when you multiply to the original expression, you will be getting the same answer. The value will not be changed. So 1/3 as the exponent. Applying multiplication law, okay, how are we going to make 1/3 1? So what will we add? So to get a 1, of course we have to complete this 1. We need to add another 2 over 3. Then 1 plus 2 is 3 over 3, or simply 1. So how are we going to simplify? Okay, we can now apply multiplication law, or the conjugate of x raised to the power of 2/3 and then x raised to the power of 2/3. It's not enough that you are going to multiply only on the denominator, the value will be changed. So if you multiply x raised to the power of 2/3 on the denominator, we have to also do it on the numerator. Okay, so 1 times x raised to the power of 2/3 is equal to x raised to the power of 2/3 over, so copy the base and then add 1/3 plus 2/3. X raised to the power of 2/3, and then this one will become 3 over 3, or simply x. So x raised to the power of 2/3 over x, because 3 over 3 is 1. So as you can see, class, okay, we are able to remove the negative, or rather the rational exponent on the denominator. That is really important to do. Okay, so according to the tips a while ago, okay, so if the denominator has rational or fractional exponents, or exponent maybe, okay, so we need to remove. Alright, we need to remove. That's why this will be our final answer, x raised to the power of 2/3 over x. Then for letter B, so as you can see, there are negative exponents. So all we need to do here first is to reciprocate. N will be on the numerator, and m raised to the power of negative 1/2 will become m raised to the power of 1/2 on the denominator. So as you can see, still there is a denominator of 1/2 fractional exponent. So conjugate 1/2, what will we add to 1/2 to become 1? So of course we have to add another 1/2. Alright, so the conjugate will be m raised to the power of 1/2 and then m raised to the power of 1/2. Then the next thing is multiply, and times m raised to the power of 1/2, it is now m raised to the power of 1/2 times n over, copy the base, 1/2 plus 1/2, of course, is 2 over 2, or simply m raised to the power of 1/2 over, this is 2 over 2. 2 over 2 is 1. So this will be our final answer, m raised to the power of 1/2 n over m. So as you can see, the rational exponent below or on the denominator was omitted. Okay, next, let's have the last example, but first we have to erase this so that we can have enough space. So let us answer C, 1 over r raised to the power of 1/2 plus 1. Okay, So by applying the conjugate, we have to remember the rule of sum and difference. If we have A plus B times A minus B, so this is equal to A square minus B square. Alright, so that's the thing that we're going to apply. To get the conjugate of this, we have to multiply to R raised to 1/2 minus sum and difference 1, and then here is R raised to 1/2 minus 1. Then, so if you are going to simplify the numerator, you will be getting R. 1 times R raised to the power of 1/2 minus 1 is still R raised to the power of 1/2 minus 1. Over, okay, of course, by applying this one, you will be squaring this one and this one. Alright, so that's why you will be getting an answer of R only. When you square R raised to 1/2, it is R raised to 1/2 times R raised to 1/2, or simply R raised to 2/2, or R. So that's why this became R. Then if you will be squaring 1 times 1, okay, it is still 1. So this will be now your final answer. So as you can see, class, we are able to remove the rational exponent on the denominator. Okay, so that's how you simplify expressions with rational exponents. Okay, so all we need to do is to factor and then apply the different laws of exponents that were discussed previously. So just remember the different laws of exponents, and then you will not get wrong answers. And then take note that, okay, if you use different solutions, or if you use your calculators, there's no problem with that, for as long as that you will indicate what you did in simplifying and coming up to the same answer. Okay, and then you will be answering the next activity, which will be sent to you. If you have some questions and clarifications, you can actually contact me with my contact information, okay, or you can comment down below. So thank you so much for being with me today, and then have a nice day. And please don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification button for more video tutorial about mathematics. Thank you so much, and have a nice day ahead.